protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves and good luck.
So one after seems like a lifetime of talking at times in the build-up to this fight. The ring clears, and remaining in it, just these two, and our third man in the ring from Belgium, Benny de Cruz. So there goes the opening bell. Edwards starting off southpaw here. We know he has that ability to switch between stances and tags Waseem with a jab early on. Waseem almost rolling that left ankle there as he looked to try and pursue Edwards. And what we expect to happen here is that Waseem will have to stay patient, try and cut the ring off on Edwards, may fall behind early, may find himself trailing at halfway, but will need to keep the faith and believe that he will get to Edwards, that he will begin to land on him and slow him down. But sometimes boxing can make fools of us all. That is what we expect, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that is what is going to happen.
Nice little combination there from Edwards. He's said all week he's not the biggest of punches, but he can hurt you, and you know you've been tagged if you've been caught by him.
Waseem looking for that jab to the body. That is a good shot to employ against somebody like Edwards, against any kind of a mover. If you could just slow them down somehow. Edwards looking to let that right hand go early there, engaging with Waseem, and then just looking at the Waseem corner. He's been having running dialogue, shall we say, with Danny Vaughan, his former trainer, Waseem's trainer, throughout the course of the week, and he seems to be continuing it even when he's in the ring, which is not something that is generally all that advisable. Into the second half of round one, Edwards just circling, looks down at the ring canvas. And those shorts there are a tribute to his old amateur coach at Repton, Bobby Beck. That was a pivotal moment in his, at the time, very young career. He'd taken a 7-month break from boxing when he was about 14 to have a think about whether he was really going to give it everything or not. Decided he was, and decided that Repton Boxing Club, famous East London hotbed of champions, was the place for him, and that Beck was the coach for him.
The green and gold Repton colours, the famous Repton colours also.
Waseem looking to land the jab, a left hand there from Edwards. Very, very quick feet there from Edwards. Just span out on the turn, managed to catch him high on the head with that left hand. Waseem has just got to stick to his task here. Managed to ride that right hand. Waseem looking to try and measure his own right. He's not had a great deal of success in this opening round. Edwards putting his hands on his hips, a little bit of showboating there, living up to the nickname. Offering that chin and then pulling it away.
I know, but listen, there's plenty of time. There's 11 more rounds left. No, Scott, you need to put it through here. Drink this one. Brilliant. Right. You know when you're walking in bar and boom, boom, all you're doing, he wants you to, that split second, to hold your feet, then he's going touch, and he's driving over with his head for that backhand. That's why you're catching him.
This is the Edwards corner.
All right? So
Grant Smith with the advice.
Spin him, come in with your head a little bit low, because he's just doing this. He don't throw till he sees you.
Good coach, Grant Smith. We've also just heard before, not yet plenty of time left, which says to me that Sonny Edwards is asking to be let off the leash, so to speak, and to get a bit more aggressive and try and force the stoppage. Whether that happens, we'll see.
What he was saying certainly suggested that, and he was quite aggressive in that opening round, Edwards. I think he really does want to prove a point tonight. Lands the 1-2 there. The jab didn't really get through. The right hand did, and then looks for a sharp left hook. Good jab there from Waseem. That landed. That's what he needs to do to give himself some confidence. He just needs to feel that leather on the end of his fist on something, whether it's a shoulder, a forearm, the neck, doesn't matter. It'll just slow Edwards down that touch, make him reset, start again.
Nice counters from Edwards, making Waseem fall short.
Just hooking on the move there, Edwards. Grant Smith just shouting from the corner to Edwards that Waseem can't hit a moving target. Sets his feet a little bit more there,
good
Edwards.
shot there from Edwards.
Lovely pull back right hand through the 1-2, stepped off and back to his right, and then through that right hand. Waseem trying to adjust to the movement in front of him. But he's finding it hard, being pulled this way and that.
Yeah, he got through there with a shot, but he has to cut the ring off better. He's got to use his footwork to cut the ring off better. If your feet are not in place, you're not in position to land.
Lands that 1-2 again, Edwards, out of the southpaw stance and steps off to his right. Waseem is smothering a reasonable amount of this Edwards work with his forearms and with his gloves, and just short with the jab there. When he throws that jab and it's short, you see that balance just go. He comes over the top of the front foot, and that's a dangerous thing for him. Just a little touch to the body there from Edwards, looking for those feints.
Waseem has to cut the ring off better if he's going to have any chance to get close to Edwards. At the moment, Sonny Edwards doing what he does best, dancing, bamboozling Waseem at the moment. Lovely shot again.
Just hooking on the move, throwing that right hook and moving off with it. Reaching in with that right hand to the body there, Waseem. Referee having a word about pushing off with the forearm. Leading off with the uppercut there, Edwards. I think the guard was in place there for Waseem. Final stages of round 2.
Hands coming close inside.
Well, Grant Smith just wanting the referee to get involved there. I've never heard him quite so vociferous from the corner.
It's got to be 1, 2, 3 against you face. Come on, you're boxing well. You're boxing
Danny
well.
Vaughan
He's lively for the first few rounds.
with the instructions there for Waseem.
While he's looking for the rest, you've got to put the pressure.
They're pretty encouraged in that
Yep.
Waseem corner. They've got to keep it upbeat, of course, but they feel that he's getting a little bit closer.
Absolutely, they have to keep it upbeat because you have to keep Waseem motivated and make him feel that he's in the fight, even though it was no secret the first few rounds are always going to be going towards Sonny Edwards for the way he fights. They have to tire Sonny Edwards out. They have to make him work harder than he normally does to have more success. But at the moment, Sonny Edwards is completely in charge.
He did say, Danny Vaughan, to Waseem there as well, don't worry too much about headshots. He's going to be difficult to hit to the head, but hit that body. Just find something, hit something.
Yeah. Throw them to the chest. The head will always move. Throw them towards the chest. But he has to get his feet in range, Waseem. If you look at where his feet are, he's too far out before he goes to lunge in. When he makes his attack, he's too far out. He needs to edge forward a little bit more, then let the attack come. The heads are coming really, really close. A bit too often for my liking.
It would appear that a head clash could well be in our near future. Edwards unhappy about it, Grant Smith unhappy about it as well. But if you're Waseem and you're in the Waseem team and he makes things a little bit rough for him there, just did come in a bit low with the head there. We were right on top of that and just bored in with the head. There's a little bit of damage to the left eye there of Waseem, so he's come off the worst there. And although you shouldn't really ever advocate skullduggery, it's not the worst plan in the world for Waseem to get on top of Edwards, make things uncomfortable and get some impact on him by fair means or foul.
You called it. As soon as you said that it happened, Andy, you called it. But the old saying, put your head on his chest, that's all he's trying to do. He's trying to get his head on the chest to punch away, but unfortunately the both heads are going to clash, and that's what happens to cuts.
The blood from that cut seems to be running clear of the corner of the eye. It's difficult to see how bad it is. Right hand there off the back foot from Edwards. Just a reminder that as this is a 12-round fight, if the fight is to get stopped due to that cut because it was from an accidental clash of heads, then if that happens within the first 4 rounds, then we'll have a technical decision draw. Beyond the completion of 4 rounds, we would go to the scorecards.
Been a very scrappy round so far.
Waseem having a little bit of success here on the ropes, digging into the body, the crowd enjoying that. An uppercut comes through the centre as well, and this is good from Waseem, who's just planted his feet wide there. He's keeping Edwards in, who defensively manages to slip a few, but plenty's got through there.
Yeah, he's choosing to stay there, Edwards. He can get off them ropes if he wants. He's choosing to stand there. Best spell of the fight so far for Waseem.
Grant Smith absolutely furious in the corner there, in the Edwards corner. He feels that Waseem is again up to some tricks on the inside there. Good finish to the round though. Entertaining stuff. Good long right hand there from Edwards. That was a decent shot, really was, but encouragement there for the challenger.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Good lad. Spit this. Spit it.
Marcus Rashford down at ringside in those comfortable posh seats, I think I'll describe them as, over on the far side of the ring where the VRPs are seated. There's always a fascination with boxing amongst footballers, I find. There's so much respect for fighters from all kinds of fellow athletes. But that was an interesting round, that, wasn't it? Particularly the last minute of it.
Yeah, it was. I felt Waseem definitely got the better of the last minute of the fight. You can see here where the head clash happens. You know, you can see, obviously, as you said, you nailed it. You called it right at the exact time. Waseem was guilty of leading with the head, trying to plant his head on Edwards' chest, but he come worse off. He come off the waist. He got a cut.
Well, he was robbing the head in, wasn't he? He was deliberately kind of boring in with the head. So into the fourth. There's that movement from Edwards. He disappears behind you, spins around that front foot, and it's difficult to work out where he's gone.
Edwards.
That long right hand has worked well for him. Straight right hand. Waseem with a left to the body. Stepped across, realised Edwards was moving off to his right, stepped across and threw that left hook into the body, then gets on top of him again there, onto the ropes, wraps him up, and will just look to lean in and make it uncomfortable again. A little bit of damage to the face of Edwards around the eyes, just a couple of abrasions, which doesn't come as a great surprise. Waseem closes in, gets a little bit too tight, a bit too close that time. Again there, he's just dipping that head. Even though he's the taller fighter, he's coming in low, bringing that head up a little bit and just rubbing in with it. And again there on the inside, gets his head underneath the chin there. Nothing wrong with that though.
Maybe a cut on the other eye, if we're seeing now on the left. Yep, there's 2 cuts now. One on the left and the right eye.
Lovely jab, lovely quick jab there from Edwards. Quick hands, but again, they just almost come together on the inside there, and Edwards is getting increasingly frustrated. You're right, damage to both of those eyes. I think in both cases, the blood is running clear. This is getting very, very dirty, very messy, but this will suit Waseem. And Edwards, up until this point, to a greater extent than we thought he would, has chosen to fight a fight that, although we've got him ahead, does suit Waseem.
Yep, it does.
More than we expected.
Yeah, it does. It's exactly what it wants. Rough Edwards up. Make Edwards work harder than he needs to work. And try and drain the resources of Edwards to come on strong later in the fight.
Well, referee Benny de Cruz has had a word with the pair of them a few times now. I wonder how much longer this will go before he feels like he needs to take some kind of action. Good boxing there from Edwards. Again, just moving off to the right, throwing in a couple of punches, finding that straight left hand as a southpaw. Waseem just wades in there. His feet were all over the place, but he kept coming and managed to hem Edwards in on the ropes.
fight for Was. This is what you'd expect. Is you know he's going to move for a bit, but he has his moments when he switches off. And well, listen to me. Yeah, it's got to be
Paul Weir there attending to the cuts.
Yeah, once you left hook, double jab backhand, aim for the chest. Okay. I do. Yeah. Come on.
The tails are up in that Waseem corner, you know, Paul. Listening into them, I think they feel that Edwards is fighting the kind of fight that they would much prefer him to fight. It's what we were talking about at the end of the round. So those cuts don't look great, to be perfectly honest with you, but we've completed 4 rounds now, so should the fight get halted due to either of them, then we'll go to the cards, because they were both, I'm sure, as a result of head clashes or rubbing between the heads. Edwards won those first 2 rounds, definitely. The third and the fourth.
I gave the third to Waseem. I thought Edwards just landed the cleaner shot in a very, very scrappy round last round, which was close and difficult to score, but it's the smarter boxer. Obviously, Edwards on the back foot. He's landing good shots on counters, but he's allowing Waseem to close the distance too much, to smother him, to make it Waseem's type of fight.
Waseem just moving forward there, shut down that space really as he looked to try and throw the right. The left just about got through to the body. Nice chopping right hand there from Edwards. That's quality, isn't it? Steps away to his right hand side and delivers that punch. But Edwards really choosing to go toe-to-toe at times and have it with Waseem. He could definitely be making this easier for himself with the skill set he's got.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there, but he's choosing to fight.
Well, the referee just pulling at a glove there. I can't stand that. Either get in and break them or leave them alone. And Edwards just comes in a little bit low with the head there himself as he walked forward. Left from Waseem disappeared over his head, as did the right. Heading up towards the final minute of round 5. Waseem just pushes him back to the ropes, looks to try and land that left. And the referee again just pulls at the glove there of Edwards. He had that left maybe a little bit around the back of the head of Waseem. Waseem looking to try and land to the body. Nice slipping and sliding from Edwards, who gets through with the right. The uppercut, though, lands there from Waseem.
Edwards is countering really well. Very smart stuff from Edwards. Waseem just throwing shots non-stop. Not really any regard of what he's throwing or where he's trying to hit. But Edwards is being very smart on the ropes with his back on the ropes. Again, he can get out, but he just chooses to go back there.
I think it's one of those nights, Edwards, where he just wants to show us that he can do it any which way.
He's trying to beat the fighter at his own game, in my opinion. I think that's what he's trying to do, isn't he? You know, he's wants to come out with the rough stuff rather than trying to box and be flashy and classy. Heads really come close then.
Waseem chasing Edwards again there, buffets him back into the ropes, but difficult for him to land clean. Did land a left to the body, but then Edwards off the ropes, lands a right hand. Well, that's the scene at the tennis stadium. We've had 2 great nights here.
This is now where we turn the script and turn the fight away. This is what we're
It's the stuff where Edwards is back to the ropes. You see Waseem trying to target the body, letting his shots go, but then Edwards comes back with a smart counter. Blocking, returning an odd counter in there. Good body shot there from Waseem.
When you punch first. Punch first, turning.
That's the key in this kind of fight for anyone boxing someone like Waseem. Keep him moving, keep him turning. Grant Smith and Sonny Edwards have been together for a long, long time. The trainer knows him inside out. Shake of the head there from Waseem. Edwards early in the round, landing a right hand, a little bit of a slap.
Yeah, little cuffing right hooks.
Again, just creates that angle by stepping off to the right-hand side.
Doesn't want to overreach Sonny Edwards. He was landing well when Waseem was coming towards him then, but when he's chasing and looking for it, he just fell short. Then Sonny Edwards, he could leave himself open to the counters from Waseem.
Good jab. Nice southpaw jab there from Edwards. Waseem almost getting him in a kind of headlock there.
It makes it difficult, doesn't it, Andy, when he just switches from southpaw to orthodox. He'll miss with a right hand from the orthodox position and turn it into a jab from a southpaw stance.
And Edwards there just allowing himself to be walked back or walking Waseem back, and there's a point taken there for holding, for wrapping Edwards up from Waseem by referee Benny de Cruz. He's spoken to both fighters on a number of occasions. He's decided that in that instance he'd had enough and decided to give the point deduction, which won't help Waseem's cause at all. Left hand to the body there from Waseem. Jab caught on the gloves there by Edwards, who tucks up nicely as he's moved back towards that red corner. Again, good guard in place there from Edwards on the ropes, trying to find a touch of room. Let's go with the left hand, and again the heads are perilously close.
Edwards needs to shorten the shots up inside. He's just throwing them a bit too wide at the moment, and he's coming round the back of Waseem's head. Good body shot from Waseem.
Narrowly missed with the right hand there, Waseem, as well, and Edwards finds that defence is just a little bit leakier in the last 15-20 seconds or so. Waseem leaning on. These two just keeping it on the inside. Edwards could get off the ropes there if he wanted to, but as you mentioned earlier on, he's happy enough to stay there and fight like this.
I'm not sure whether... Oh, good shot.
Good right hand from Edwards. Steps off and just throws it overhand, then turns and throws that right hand.
What round is that? What round's it? What round's it? You listen to me. Listen to me, you've got to sink them body shots in when you're there. Yeah? Keep your chin down, get your elbows in. Listen, you're going to have to start letting these fucking shots go.
Apologies if you caught that at the very end there, but this is a world title fight. This is boxing, not the Great British Bake Off. But Danny Vaughan just telling Waseem in the corner there that he's just got to keep moving forward. He's got to keep pressing, trying to put the pressure on, make this tough for him, make this dirty at times. That's the order of the day here.
Yeah. He has to. Got to pick his shots better when he has Sonny Edwards on the ropes, though. Not just throwing non-stop. You need to pick them and place them, target the body of Edwards.
I do find it interesting the way that Edwards has chosen to go about this. It is personal, this fight. He said it was in the build-up, but when it came to fight night itself, I didn't think that he would go about it in quite this fashion, but he has chosen to. He's doing it successfully. But it's made for a slightly different spectacle to the one that we thought we would see. We're into the second half of the fight. Sonny Edwards, the defending champion in the green and gold. Mohamed Waseem, the IBF number 3, the challenger. This a voluntary defence given to Waseem by Edwards. He's in the camouflage.
This is where he needs to pick his shots better, Waseem, when he has Sonny Edwards on the ropes. Every time he throws a shot, he's being countered by Edwards.
And another point deduction there for use of the head, for coming in low with the head. Danny Vaughan is furious away to our right-hand side, but the referee has given one for holding. He's given one for that head work. Left hand there from Waseem. That was a good shot, because when he forces Edwards back to the ropes like he is here, he's working hard, but he's finding it difficult to really get much through. As a visual, it kind of looks good for Waseem, if you like, because he's pushing his man back, but it's Edwards who's picking the better punches.
The head went in then as well. Has to be careful, Waseem. The next one, he's gone.
Just looking over Edwards' shoulder, straight at us in that clinch, just with a grin and a shake of the head. Some blood coming from the end of the nose there of Edwards. That's just started to appear in the last few seconds.
Good body shot again from Waseem.
Just trying to put the forearm in on Edwards a little bit there. Chucks him back into the corner, tries to find a bit of space. That was the left hand that landed from Waseem. In a sense, really, the point deductions don't really matter because he's that far behind on the scorecards now that he needs the stoppage. So he just needs to avoid getting disqualified, obviously. That's not exactly going to help, but the mission here is not really affected by the PDs.
All right.
Is that 6 rounds on?
What?
6 rounds on.
Yes.
6 rounds.
All right.
I'm boxing now, moving. I've got him.
Yeah, got it. Right.
Just heard Edwards say, is this the 7th round done? I'm boxing now.
He's going to go with the pressure, okay? And the body shot is the key. Let's go.
I agree, Waseem needs more body shots in this fight. Such a difficult target to land on the head of Sonny Edwards.
And that's the problem. The theory behind this of fighting Edwards for Waseem is it's quite clear, it's quite straightforward. If you had to come up with the game plan, then it's not a difficult one to outline. Putting it into practice is an entirely different thing. He's sticking to it, Waseem. He really is. But with Edwards at time, it is a little bit like trying to hit smoke. Right hand there from Edwards.
When you hear some of the old school pro trainers shouting jab the chest, that's the reason why the chest won't move as much as the head will. The head will always be moving from a decent boxer, especially a slick one like Sonny Edwards. The good shot there from Edwards. That was a really nice counter layback right hand. Good body shot there from Waseem.
That was solid from Waseem. That's when he's had his most success, when he knows that Edwards is moving off to the right-hand side. He spreads that left foot wide and just bangs in that left hand, knowing that he's definitely going to hit something.
Really targeting the body, Waseem. Gets a couple due to the head.
He did, landed with the jab and then with the right hand and just getting on top of Edwards on the ropes a little bit. This is encouraging from Waseem.
It's a good round for Waseem, it's good work. Good shot from Edwards.
That long right hand again and then a shorter, snatchy right hand on the inside. Danny Vaughan just trying to tell Waseem that Edwards' battery is running down. Edwards steps off to the right-hand side, and he did say at the start of the round as he lands a right hand there that he was going to box more from now on. That hasn't really turned out to be the case. Waseem has stayed on top of him. Good right hand there from Edwards. But Waseem eats it up, lands a left to the body. Edwards back with the uppercut.
It's been the best round for Waseem so far in the fight, in my opinion. He's landed some really good shots. Edwards has missed with plenty.
The referee getting between the two of them right at the very end of the round, and Waseem sent back to the corner.
Was, that's a great round. Fantastic round. Just keep that there. Okay, look to your right a little bit. You feel okay?
It's the stuff here again. Edwards, he doesn't need to be there where he is, and he's choosing to be there most of the time. He can easily spin round. He's clever enough, smart enough, good enough footwork. He can spin around and get back to the centre of the ring and have Waseem chasing him, but he's electing to stay on the ropes, and he came off worse that round, in my opinion, by staying on the ropes. Needs to get back when he knows best. You can see Grant Smith in the corner, whispering down his ear, shouting down his ear. I'm sure he'll be asking for him to get back to his boxing and get back to the basics.
So we're through 8 rounds here. We've had those 2-point deductions, and just thinking about this in terms of scoring, I think the best I could do for Waseem at this stage would be 3 rounds. I'm not entirely convinced he has won 3 rounds, but that would be the best I could do for him.
Yeah.
2-point deficit, that would be, plus the point deductions, that would mean Sonny Edwards would have a lead of 4 rounds. There's nothing official about that. That's just the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, that's just opinion. I agree. Been some good work from Waseem, but just not enough quality of work.
Edwards with that movement, he's managing to keep a little bit of distance between himself and Waseem in this 9th round so far, using the outside of the ring, but not going to the ropes.
Caught again to the body. Edwards comes back with nice right hand and a stiff jab to knock the head back of Waseem.
And it looks like he is trying to box now. And Waseem, again, does come in a little bit low with the head there and lifts it up underneath the chin of Edwards. That's the rough and tumble of the pro ring, though. I don't think there's anything really wrong with that.
I don't myself. If you're putting your head on the chest of your opponent and your opponent lifts his head up, then he's making a meal of it himself, and it's making it look like you're being aggressive with the head. Good work from Edwards.
They've done a good job with those cuts in the Waseem corner, because they don't look good. When we get a good close look at him, when he comes over our side of the ring, they don't look good at all.
Waseem needs to start throwing when he gets in close. Lovely shot from Sonny Edwards.
He's picking Waseem off in this round. As I said, he's not retreated to the ropes. He's not decided to trade on the inside. He's kept that little bit of separation between the two of them and used that kind of inner clock face a little bit more. Steps off to his right and lets the combination go. Waseem up close there, just grabs hold and tries to work the uppercut. Good right hand there from Edwards.
Classier stuff coming from Edwards. This is where Waseem needs him to be.
He got through with the left uppercut, Waseem. Other than that, though, he's finding it difficult to land on Edwards here, who throws in a right hand over the top. There's that 1-2 and then steps off.
Looks a bit tired now, Waseem. Understandable, he's put a lot into the early rounds.
Right hand maybe landing just slightly after the bell there. Edwards wasn't too impressed with it, but he said after 7 rounds that he was going to start boxing. He didn't really do it, but he did in that 9th round.
Nice little lay back and straight left hand down the pipe. Knocks the head back of Waseem. Good stuff from Edwards. Quality over quantity. Waseem electing for the quantity and trying to just throw anything he can, and that old phrase of throwing a handful of rice at something and not being able to hit it comes into mind, doesn't it?
This is 10 round championship round.
Done a good job of the cuts, Paul Weir.
Really has. Really has. Former 2-weight world champion just making his way out of the ring there, away to our right. Waseem will keep working, he will keep pressing. But Edwards, again, just throws that jab and then just moves off to the side, just pivoting around that front foot. Works in that tight circle around his opponent. He's in front of you 1 second, he's off to the side of you, behind you. Before you know it, flicks up that southpaw jab from the waist.
Shot.
That's been his most successful shot, Waseem.
He's got to not follow him though, Waseem. He's got to step to his left.
Danny Vaughan trying to keep Waseem going, telling him that Sonny Edwards is looking at the clock, that he's gassing. He's been saying that for a few rounds now. These are the kinds of things you have to do to just try and keep your man believing that if you keep going until the bitter end, that it can still happen. Great shot there from Edwards, really was. That kind of pullback right hand has worked perfectly for him at times. He just tucks that back leg in behind him, bounces off it, and then moves off once he's thrown it. And again there, the left hook on the move, and this is impressive stuff now.
Quality, yeah, quality stuff from Edwards there. And they're the type of shots, you know, a few more of them, and it beats the work rate and it beats the aggression of Waseem. The quality will show, and they're what steal the rounds.
Edwards just making Waseem look clumsy there. And if he closes out the fight in this kind of style, with this kind of approach, Edwards, it would really have been a case of him deciding that in the first half, okay, let's do it your way. In the second half, we'll do it my way. Either which way, I'm going to get the better of you.
Yeah. Waseem, if he wants any more success, he's got to let more than one shot go. When he gets close, he's just throwing singles and he's being countered or he's missing like that. Has to throw 2 and 3. Needs to get his feet into range, needs to throw more than one shot.
Still he comes forward, Waseem, but there's that dabbing right hand, and then Edwards just covering up to the body as he skirts off to his right.
Looks tired, Waseem, doesn't he? Body language, big singles, just swinging one single shot.
Left hand there from Edwards, just pulled his weight onto the back foot, sunk into the rope slightly, and then threw it over the top. Waseem just pushing off with the heel of the glove there. The referee let that one go. Looking to try and finish the round strong. That left to the body. Bell goes. 2 left here. At the end of the 10th round, we will have had more open scoring at the end of the 8th.
Yes,
I didn't see the slips going round. At this point, it's academic, really.
See now, when he comes inside, lock him up, walk him back and twist.
That's what I'm saying about Waseem when he's coming in with just single punches. It's so easy for Edwards to slip outside and counter, or slip inside and counter Waseem. This was better stuff towards the end of the round from Waseem when he started to put the punches in bunches. But the single stuff, the single shots is not going to be enough for Sonny Edwards.
Lots of Vaseline on those cuts. The referee just having a look at that and allowing it. Often you'll see referees send them back to the corner and get that wiped off. So 2 to go here into the 11th. Sonny Edwards, the defending IBF flyweight champion in the green and gold, is well in front here.
Championship rounds. Waseem needs, obviously, definitely both of these, in my opinion, but he needs more. Has to put it on Edwards. This is where Edwards is at his most comfortable. Circling on the back foot, nice and patient, waiting for the attacks and the lunges to counter. This is exactly where he wants to be.
And this really is what we expected to see him do for 12 rounds. It didn't turn out like that. It hasn't turned out like that. He chose to do things differently. Waseem had some encouragement in some of those middle rounds. but also suffered a couple of point deductions. And unless he can find something huge in this last 2 rounds, then this is going to be another successful world title defence for Edwards. And we know what he wants next. It's Julio Martinez, the WBC champion.
A nice shot there from Edwards, a nice left hook from the southpaw stance, and a switch out to the left.
He's kept the faith, Waseem. He's tried to stick to the plan, come forward, track Edwards down. It just hasn't worked. But it's not been the lack of trying, the effort has 100% been there. The will has been there, but the skill just hasn't quite.
This is what I expected from Sonny Edwards from the first opening bell, but he wanted to get involved, he wanted to prove a little point, a little bit of spite, a little bit of malice. And it worked for the early rounds.
Just staying out of the way, Edwards, towards the end of round 11.
Nice counter there from Edwards, nice counter left hook.
Waseem was trying to work his hands on the inside. Got through the jab there, Mohamed Waseem. Made to miss with the left hand there. A couple of olays from ringside, so 1 to go here. 3 more minutes before we bring to a close tonight. Some great action at the tennis stadium here with Probellum.
Yeah, you're just going to have to go for it, you know what I mean? You're going to have to, you just got to listen, you're going to have to try and finish him, because with the 2 mornings, they're going to give him it.
As soon as it's shut, walk and twist, all right?
And have a go.
Why?
Sonny Edwards has just asked Grant Smith, can I have a go? And Grant Smith just said, why? I think he desperately wants the stoppage.
I think he does. It's been interesting to talk to Grant Smith about this fight afterwards, actually, because he's obviously advocated this game plan, the way that they've gone about things. And sometimes as a trainer, you have to let your fighter have his head, if you like, because he wants to prove a point. He wanted to prove a point in the first half of the fight, and Grant Smith has obviously agreed to that on the condition that in the second half, once he's got that out of his system almost, he goes back to what he's best at.
Yeah, gets back on the bike and box. Underrated coach, Grant Smith. I think he's good at what he does. Very calm in the corner.
Waseem again trying to move in behind that jab. He's trained so hard for this. The second opportunity at the same title. Came up short against Maruti Umdalani, put him down in the 11th round. But unless he can detonate in this remaining 2 minutes and turn this around in what would be incredibly dramatic fashion, then I'm afraid it's not going to be his night again. Good left hand on the inside there from Waseem.
Nice uppercut. Has to target the body, Waseem. The head's moving, the body will stay. He's swinging, that's better. He's swinging at the head, and it's not there.
Well, I think his old coach, whose name is adorning the shorts there of Edwards, Bobby Beck, would have approved of this.
Hit and not get hit.
Good single shot again there from Edwards into the final minute. He certainly enjoyed boxing in Dubai. Made his first title defence here before Christmas. Topping the bill and has done exactly the same again here. I'd imagine we'll probably be looking at scores of, in rounds, maybe 10-2, 9-3 with the point deductions. That'll be 118, 108, 117, 109, around that kind of ballpark. Waseem keeping going here right until the very end, just quickening up those feet, trying to chop down with that right hand.
I don't think there's much room to give Waseem any more than 3 rounds, but it's, again, I use this phrase a lot, but it's not been for lack of trying. He's tried. The quality just hasn't been there for him compared to Sonny Edwards.
He has been relentlessly rolling forward, and some judges do like that. It should never be about that. It's about who lands what, and a lot of the time on the ropes, Edwards was tucking up successfully. There's a touch of the gloves there, though, between Edwards and Danny Vaughan. Waseem mounts the corner post, and that is optimistic, I would describe it as. He's put in a hell of a shift there, Mohamed Waseem. Right from the very first second up until the last. Edwards does exactly the same thing in his own corner with more justification, you would have to say. It was an interesting fight to see how it unfolded. Edwards choosing to hold his feet, go to the ropes at times in the opening half of it, and that will have encouraged Waseem, who did have some spells of success, but overall, and particularly with the 2-point deductions, it's absolutely impossible to see anything other than a Sonny Edwards win.
Yeah, it is for me. As I say, it's very difficult to give him any more than 2-3 rounds maximum, but he's jumping on the ropes because he's really worked. He's really put everything into that, trying to chase and hit shadows, as you said, and, you know, it is difficult when you're in there with someone like Sonny Edwards, who's so elusive, so evasive. He's slick, he's awkward. It makes it a nightmare for you to fight against. He's tried very hard tonight, Waseem, but unfortunately for me, no, there's not a chance in this. Brave and game effort, valiant effort, but not for me.
Absolutely, all of those adjectives apply. You could choose any which one, because he never stopped trying. He gave it all that he had. He knew what he was hoping to achieve, what he was trying to accomplish in there. It's just a very difficult thing to do against him. If we get to see that fight between him and Julio Martinez, again, that's what people will talk about, that Martinez will need to hunt him down, but you're going to need to hurt him, ideally early, and then you're in business.
To slow him down, and it's going to be a typical Bull Matador type fight, and it's a fight that I would love to see. Absolutely. Well, hopefully there's every chance. He stepped up to super flyweight and missed the weight, actually, Martinez, against Roman Gonzalez, but credit to him for taking that fight at relatively short notice. Those lower weights, flyweight, super flyweight, they are absolutely flying again. They really are, full of good fighters. Bam Bam Rodriguez stepping up and winning a world title recently. You've got Estrada, Gonzalez still right up there at the top, despite being well past 30 now. Artem Dalakian with the WBA at flyweight, Junto Nakatani with the WBO at flyweight, Martinez with the WBC, as we know, and they're attracting attention, which is great to see because the skill level is really high. And when you've got the odd character in there who's got plenty to say, and Edwards definitely fits into that category, it all helps. Okay, let's get the cards.
Ladies and gentlemen, a referee, Benedict Cruz, will bring both boxers to the centre of the ring. 12 rounds of World Championship Boxing. Your appreciation, please, for both boxers in the ring. Our supervisor, Carlos Ortiz, has the championship belt. We have the score totals. Leszek Jankowiak, 115-111. Dion Duarte, 116-110. Jerome Ladd, 115-111, all for the winner. And still, the IBF Flyweight Champion of the World, Shota.
So Sonny Edwards gets it by unanimous decision, tighter than we had it. 8-4 in rounds with Dion Duarte, 7-5 in rounds with Leszek Jankowiak and Jerome Ladd, and then widened obviously by the 2-point deductions. But he